Hello, my friends. How are you? I thought I would jump in and say good morning. It's the weekend. I hope you're doing well. Um, I'm going to wait to get started until a few people show up in the room who can help moderate. Yes, for some odd reason, the lights make my eyes look blue. And, my dad had blue eyes. Hi, Tess. Hi, Jessica. How are you guys doing? Um, What am I doing? Okay, let's put you there and you there. Yay! I know. Sorry if my voice is a little gravelly. Um, Allergies turned into yuck, turned into weird weather. And I guess we're not done with the weird weather. Hi, Namira. How are you? Hi, friend. Hello. Hello, hello. Well, Tess can moderate. Tess can moderate. So I thought that I would do a collective tarot card reading for us for the next week. I didn't know whether you wanted an astrology rundown, a news rundown. I look at crazy stuff. And I do know that if you live in California, there are a lot of readers, channelers who are the more of us that see and all of us, it's like little light bulbs going off, doon, 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 that a warning is coming for the splitting of the earth. So I know I've been talking about that to my people for years. And now is the time. So tell me what y'all want. Tess, do you want the astrology rundown? Because I know that Heather and I will go live tomorrow evening and we'll do our thing. But if you want my opinion on things, I can pull up the chart, or I can just go ahead and start reading the cards, or I can pull up the news. That's my favorite part, the news. Because they don't show a lot of the cool stuff that's happening and a lot of the finds. Did you guys know that a couple of months ago they found Cleopatra's tomb? And it was in northern Africa off the coast. And it had been hiding for thousands of years. Do a collective reading, please. Okay, no problem. I'm going to set my microphone over here. You let me know if you have problems hearing me. I'm hoping you don't. I also wanted to do like a quick 2 card pull for like each zodiac sign at the end, because they're all being affected differently right now. All right, so let me do my thing. There we go. Oh my goodness, the moon is opposing Pluto right now. Right now. Hmm. I would say if you have anything in the beginning, um, 10 degrees of Scorpio or Taurus, you're probably having a bad day. That's where the challenges would be. I would also include Gemini, and I would include, no, Cancer and Virgo. Pisces, no, Cancer and Virgo, Taurus and Scorpio. Yeah, they're probably having a hard time right now. Mm-hmm. All right. So I'll try to timestamp everything after the live stream, okay? For the week, March 2026. What do we got going on for the week of March 2026, please? March 2026. Show me what's going to happen here with March 2026. Show me what's going to happen here with March 2026. Okay, I'm getting maybe three or four different yes, like three or four different groups or people that are involved in this week's dramatic sort of exposure and energy. There is I want to call it dumb. I want to call it dumb, but maybe it's not. So, what do I know? There's a Leo looking at a possible ending or a general overall ending that is being created because of an inability to properly feed give let me see what else about that. It's like giving something the right attention, not being able to be attentive and give something the right attention. The person I'm holding in my hands, whoever this is, I have a Leo, a Gemini, a Capricorn type energy, and maybe there's like all three of these people. It seems as if there is a sudden crack that happens where maybe somebody cracks and they break. They're identifying a need to 1, 2, 3, 4, a pressure that has built up over time. They're trying to find a solution using what tools they have. They're also looking at and I don't know, the first part of myself wants to say, is this person overthinking something or they're making it bigger than it needs to be? you know, there's sort of like an energy down here that says, you effed up Ron, because it gives a little bit of bossiness. Whoever this second person is down here, I'm going to put these cards over here because there's pressure, there's a need. There could also be like judgment, someone making a wrong choice. This could also be someone who's seeing that a breakup or a divorce was a wrong choice. And they're identifying down here, this person, I have a Libra, Aquarius, Sagittarius, Gemini, Cancer, maybe, Cancer, probably, Scorpio. This, oh, I just saw that as well. There is a logical response to an inappropriate type of choice. There will be some people that are looking at a choice that was made in a higher court, in a higher elevation of some kind. It's almost like ignoring divorce papers, ignoring child support visitations, ignoring the wisdom of separation, and just, but whatever that ignoring the wisdom of, I have a person who is just sick and freaking tired of being alerted to a choice that wouldn't necessarily go in their favor. They're tired of losing. They want to win. They want something to go in a direction. They're not going to get their wish and their dream because of a divorce. They're not going to get the total package because of you see what I'm saying? The person wants this thing and they're sick and tired of not seeing or not having the ability or not being allowed to make a move. Maybe this person has no clue which move to make. All the options on this person's table may require them to drop an overall goal for various reasons. You block yourself in. It's crazy, right? I have the Six of Wands right here in the upright, and on the other side, in the future position, I have the King of Wands in the reverse and the Five of Wands in the reverse. This is Six Wands. This is Six Wands. Someone is thinking that maybe that it's too hard to drop an agenda, or if this agenda gets put away, then maybe something critical might be lost. Could also say, have this Leo energy here. I'm hearing a threat of some kind. Fire sign energy. Someone being free with their speech, making a threat that eliminates choices in the future. Someone over here saying no. On the other side, the other person says, oh, okay, you're not going to do that with me, for me, cool. Then we're not doing nothing ever in the future. And it has that sort of threatening piece to it. Someone may up and quit their job, say, you know what? They didn't hire me. They hired someone else. Fine. I'm not ever doing anything for anyone ever again. If this, because I'm also getting this with the Hierophant over here, and someone who is thinking about all the ways I've made all of the right choices. I thought I was making all of the right choices. There is a generation, a Pluto, Neptune, Uranus. There is a Neptune generation on the ground right now. They're usually millennials around that age, that have Neptune in Capricorn. And this is very typical of Neptune and Capricorn folks. And believe it or not, you'd be surrounded by a lot of these people. They come in strong. Capricorn energy wants to put a structure into place. They want to get the team and pull it together. And then they want to start telling them, you go here, you go there, you go there. When the 10th house Capricorn Saturn energy steps in, it basically says, okay, I see y'all just sitting around here. Let's get it in order, get it in order, get it in order. If you are part of our YouTube members or our Patreon members, I did do the first tarot class last night. I uploaded it for the highest tiers. I think it's the gatekeepers on YouTube and the patrons at the highest $18 level a month contributors. They get it for free. If you'd like to purchase for yourself, though, it's like $20. I'm selling it for like $20 per class. And you know what? If you paid a tutor, it'd be the same thing, 20, 30, 40 bucks, 50, 60 per hour. So you're getting a deal. You know what I'm saying? 20 bucks an hour. That's not bad. And you get to keep the video. I'm just saying. Okay. So my point is, I was speaking in the tarot card video last night, a piece of this where I lose my train of thought. Oh, Neptune and Capricorn. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. These folks come in with strength. They may even come in with resources. And they're making calls and judgment calls. But Saturn, the 10th house is always in this difficult relationship with the 5th house, which is Leo. And it does have to do with performance. Yes. The 10th house does have to do with reputation. Yes. It does have to do with traditional things. Yeah. But the 5th house talks about ability. There'd be a million different reasons for why someone would not want you to touch their stuff. I'm the only one that can operate this machine. We're dealing in a world of AI right now where I don't want you to touch my AI because this thing is on the verge of becoming smarter than everybody on this planet. There's a block, a wall of some sort. It breaks through someone's advances. They want to advance this person here. The other person's over there. So I'm going to get to that person over there. Okay. I'm going to get to this one. Like I said, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 5. I did 1. And for those of you that are just now walking in and catching up, the Tower card comes in with the Strength card in the reverse and the World card in the reverse. Like this. Boom, crack. This person is looking at their resources. They're trying to formulate in their head. I do think this person on the left overthought some things, or they let their brain get the better of them in some way. The Page of Swords in the reverse with the Devil card. It does tell me that this person, spends too much time gossiping. They could spend too much time in a negative vocal tone, using with people, sharp. They could call people names. But whatever this person did over here, it's pushing them quite possibly towards an ending for not being able to go the distance. The second person I'm looking at, you know, they're upset down here. They may feel that someone's being not just too stubborn, but maybe they were unwilling or they were nervous, catching nervous. I was nervous. I was nervous. Look at the Ten of Swords. Look at the Lovers in the reverse. Part of the challenge here is happiness over here. So that's what I'm saying. The person in the middle, they're miffed, but instead of P, I'm going to put miffy instead of, you get, yeah, work it out. But yeah, they're showing a little attitude. Fine. You don't want to go into marriage with me, partnership with me. You don't want to get on this contract. You don't want to divorce your spouse and give me my happiness. Then F you, I'm out. That's part of the challenge. This person may have definitely thrown down a gauntlet of some kind of seeing that. Boom, right? And now they're waiting for this action that would actually take them forward. And until then, this person has sworn silence. Until I can get the F out of here, I'm just going to shut my mouth, keep it cool, keep it calm. I'm not going to tell anyone of my decision and what would be best for me. You don't want to work with me. You don't want to talk with me. You want to be a little bitch. Cool. Then you don't get my number. I ain't going to answer your texts. I'm not going to text with this person anymore. I'm not going to send messages. I'm not going to offer you the first bids on whatever. Fine. I'm going to take myself off of the phone plan. Fine. And in the future, I plan to move ahead somewhere else. F you. But they are pissy. I said iffy, kissy, miffy, twisty, lippy. There you go. Hopefully they get confused. Okay, I don't want to keep harping on this person. From the outside in, the attitude person, that's number 2. Everybody's looking at this person just kind of like, we know you didn't get what you wanted, but we also know you're in a mood. We're also kind of scared of you, because if you actually got what it is that you wanted, could also be, because I have the 10s here, could also be in the future if this person gets what it is that they want. We're a little freaked out about that. We're not sure you should hold that kind of power. You're not ready for that kind of power. If you're showing this kind of attitude, then you're not built to take something all the way. If you don't have initiative to get up and do, then you're not built for this. You're not the right framework. If you're not disciplined, then you're not the right framework. If you're not educated, then you're not the right framework. Whatever this is, if you have an issue with power, control, fear, you know, when people are scared, they make dumb decisions. If you are obsessed, you're not the right person for this. And the folks looking at the attitude person is just kind of like, we're going to create some distance here. Because what if this person gets their hands on that kind of power in the future? What would they do? They'd have to be dismantled in some sort of way. But I don't think attitude person is listening to anyone. They're looking at maybe how it made them feel. And that's part of the power issue, right? They're looking at how good it made them feel to say, not you, not you, like that. They're looking at, I was joyful to body slam, whatever. I was grateful to slam my car into their car. You know, to Wanda, fried green tomatoes, to Wanda, you know, with her car. This person's looking at how great it made them feel. They're also in a space of bitterness, unforgiveness in their heart. I can see that. You know, they're not the kind of person to live and let live or let go. There's some sort of bitterness here that's unresolved. And if it's not them personally, then it's someone else who's not willing to forgive or let go. Okay. It's your life. I have no clue what you're doing. Everybody in the comments, can you tell me how this is, how is this sorting up for you guys? Let me know how it resonates or doesn't. Please. I just work here. Check out the comments and put up the chart. Oh my goodness, Lulu, I forgot to tell you guys. This live stream is sponsored by Lulu. It's sponsored by Lulu. She gave me a gift. And with that gift, I was able to buy my medicine for the month. Thank you very much, Lulu. I appreciate you very, very, very much. Thank you. I got dog food for the dogs and I got my medicine. And I filled up the tank of the car. Thank you. Thank you. She's never forgotten me. You know that? For a long time now, she has been our sponsor to continue this. You guys have no clue. I miss you too. I know you need a Scorpio reading, right, Lulu? Yeah, I'm going to be going through all 12 signs in a second. But right now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 4 is quick. 4 is quick. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Give her some love, you guys. We all have different spiritual gifts. And even though we hear our readers often, you know, one of the things that Heather and I really needed this time around was sponsorship. With sponsorship, we wouldn't need to go to work. And so it's been a joy to have that support from Lupita. Thank you for not forgetting us. Thank you. Okay, meow. I'm going to pull Cranky Butt right here out of the way that everybody's scared of, by the way. Everybody is too afraid to go near that person. They're scared. They don't know what to think. They're hoping to God that, you know. So I'm gonna put that person away over here. We'll put it right there. And let's pull out this person. Look at this person. I don't even know what to say. When these cards came out around this person, I was just like, who is this beautiful angel? While we have we have crises over there, someone who is looking at the length of you know how long it would take to create an ending, what would be needed to create an ending, um, looking at what they have and trying to work with what they've got. Cranky, they're running their mouth, they may be a complainer, very sharp with their tone. They may have made a threat coming at someone. And then I walk in here with the King of Cups in the upright and the Knight of Cups in the upright. And I'm just like, hmm. Oh, also kind of feeling like this Knight of Swords guy is also here as well, because he was taken off running towards the King of Cups. Be like, hello. People scratch at the door like a cat. Hello. I'm catching that for whatever, there's a smell. There's want to put a triangle. There's like a smell of some kind. Something stinks. I have a neighbor or a dorm, with neighbors, barracks. Going to the person next door and scratching at the door and just kind of saying, hello, hello. It's something smells and something stinks. It could be fish. It could be fish. I knew people in the army who, and that's weird that it's coming out like that. I knew people in the army who would, here in the Texas heat of all things, they'd prank their coworkers by putting dead fish in the back seat of their vehicles. They thought it was funny. They thought it was hilarious, and the person wouldn't find the smell for like 3 days. They'd go nuts. They thought it was an excellent prank. So I'm seeing some sort of stench, quite possibly around fish. Bear with me because this King of Cups person is remaining detached and they're chill. This person, how the King of Cups has their singing bowl right there. I can hear the tone. It's a restfulness of some sort, a tone, peaceful. They're not usually, to me, it's sort of like not being rocked, being steady and being calm. The King of Cups in the upright here, I'm also catching because that Two of Swords is kind of laying, I want to lay it over the King of Cups like this. Want to put it over, kind of like the King of Cups is in the background here, where a choice of some kind stands in front of the King of Cups. They may be seeking wisdom or guidance, or maybe meditating and looking at the choice in a way that says, I know I have to make a choice in the future. I'm not going to let it rock me. There is someone who is releasing messages of pain and letting them go. Releasing. I don't know who that is. And then there are these, to whoever this is that is talking and trying to pull these swords out of their heart, there's this Knight of Cups. And I'm almost seeing like the king is saying, maybe perhaps this is not my choice to make. It's your choice to make. I'm sitting here and I'm listening. I'm offering. What about this suggestion and that suggestion and this suggestion and that suggestion? And they're trying to like center while this is going on. In runs a piece of news. And that's where number 4 person comes in. Could be an air sign, absolutely. But the message that is coming in towards the King of Cups is one that is going to snatch something out of their environment. It's going to snatch it and take it away. The runner that's running in with the message has additional information. I do also kind of catch that the King of Cups, I mean, they kind of like their environment. Yes. Hold on. Is this resonating with anyone for this number 3 person? I've been talking for 37 minutes. Heather, are you still there? Someone is telling the other person, you haven't done enough for me. I don't think that you've done enough for me. Why have you not done enough for me? There's an entitled, it's like an entitlement to this question. If I've talked with this person, sat with this person, pondered things out loud with this person, there is a complaint of basically saying, you haven't done enough for me. They're complaining. You haven't done enough for me. The other person is sort of the, I don't even have enough to take care of myself at this point. I don't even have enough to take care of myself. So all the complaints that you have about a lack of movement moving forward, about all your plans or trying to set your plans up. This King of Pentacles person here, they have an operation of some kind that's moving forward. It's just taking time. And they're not able to emotionally walk away from their plan. And then I have the Queen of Pentacles looking at that plan and saying, my choice with your plan is not to get involved. I'm not going to jump in it. I don't even, I'm doing what I can, and I can barely get what I need here. It's going to take time. That's what the Queen is saying, to undo whatever damage that has happened. It's going to take time before an excitement, a happiness can be revealed. And the other person is over here going, I'm confused. You told me that there's an expectation for this. You see what I mean? Expectation. It's almost like one person got their needs met and another person didn't. Now I'm being drawn back over to the person that said no. F no. No, right? No, they see that the approach and the conflict and the big fat no right here, yeah, it may have set the other person off. Eat a D. That's how this person is saying it. They do have someone who is supporting them and not allowing something to just take off, something just to not to take off. There is a controlling factor to this. They're controlling a product. They're controlling an action, a choice. They're doing it on purpose in great lengths because one party looks abusive. One party looks lazy. One party looks like they have power issues. Okay. It could also have something to do with fatherhood, where someone wasn't an appropriate father. What kind of person would you put in charge of this 10 of Pentacles? What kind of person would you ask to lead? Because the 10 of Pentacles actually fell on the King of Cups right here. If you're going to have somebody in charge of something, if you're going to put them in power of something, you need someone steady, holding and having the vision, having inspiration, but also using wisdom. The King of Cups is looking at the whole picture and what it takes to maintain the whole picture. The King of Pentacles is in a pause position before launching this Eight of Wands in the reverse. And they're stuck. They're looking at their stuckness right there. And they're wondering, hold on, because this just went, like, how can a person, okay, one party on one end doesn't even have enough, right? They're in deep, whatever this is. And they're working to get themselves stable. The other person is the King of Pentacles in the upright. And I'm not saying they're a demon or anything like that, but they do have an agenda. And never forget that the wands are still the wands. It does speak about ambition. And the King of Pentacles, what they want may not be bad. You know, the direction they want to move in may not be a bad thing. They may earn their money and take care of their responsibilities and do all of the things and all of the things, right? But the inequality and the imbalance here is that one person is stable enough to have ambition. You see what I'm saying here? The other person is not stable. I'm also hearing discipline is an issue over here. Discipline may be not just an issue, it may be a function that is being misused, misrepresented. I do see the inequality, though, of one person leaving the other person behind, you know, in the sense of ambition versus security and stability. Man, I got a Capricorn over here who likes to spy on these conversations. But this Capricorn, in the silence of their head, they're looking at these conversations and they're just kind of going, what did that doober do now? And they're listening. And they're just like, what kind of freaking, who does this? That's what the Capricorn is thinking. Just like, they're amazed at how dumb someone set up the rules of something here. And they're the ones that tipped over the, like, it's sort of like somebody starting some shite. Someone walking in and just boop, and starting some shite. There's a resource that takes away someone's wings, but they're the ones that did it. It would be like being really pissed off. I'm really mad at you because I'm the one that went and slashed my own tires. It's that sort of thing. And the Capricorn is listening to it and just going, so let me get this straight. You're the one that started it. And then you're the one, like, you're the one that wanted this. Okay. You wanted the divorce. You are the one that filed the paperwork. You're the one that did all of this stuff. And now you're getting really angry and pissy. So you're going to take away someone else's wings. The same person, you see, it's like triple, double, quadruple on top of, on top of, on top of. I don't know how deep this person's, but the Capricorn's looking at it like, you born stupid. That's what the Capricorn is kind of doing. You born stupid. You're the one that wanted it. So you're the one that wanted it and you didn't follow through. You're the one that wanted it and you wouldn't show initiative. You're the one that wanted it and whatever else, whatever else. You barn stupid. But that's why if you go back to the beginning with number 2, that's why I'm saying someone's not fit for power. They're not fit to hold the power. They don't have that internal compass that comes with power. There's a lot of like power dynamics here. I wouldn't hand you the keys to my store. I'm sorry. I can't do that to myself. I can't trust you like that. Why? Because you don't throw in. You have nothing to lose. Hell no. You ain't going to, it's Bueller taking off with the freaking Corvette or whatever it was. Hi, Badir One. Hi, Badir One. Hello. Not like, don't be confused. And that's what's going on here. You didn't throw in, right? You're yelling and screaming it about how much it cost you and how much work it took and all of this, but you also didn't add anything to help things along. So all your bitching and all your stupid complaining right here, when the choices that needed to be, it's sort of like looking at someone and saying, you knew what the right choice was. You knew what the right choice was. And now you're crying because you're not getting participation. Well, maybe people don't want to participate with you, dumbass. Sort of, it's dumb. How are people supposed to participate with that? How are people supposed to participate with it? All right, let me pull the cards back and I'm going to do a fun run with, I'm just literally, and Heather's like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm just going to try to go through real quick, all 12 signs. Okay. So let me shuffle again. Where are we at? We're at 49 minutes. So when I do the timestamps later, I'll remember where we start. Hi, Lazilu. Good morning. Hello. It's Saturday morning. All right. So Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the beginning of March, almost your birthday season. How much fun is that? Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for March 2026. Let's go. Show me Aries. What does Aries need to know for the week? March 2026. Yep. Okay. So Aries was like, yeah, I'm done with that stupid shite. Right there. We're walking away from someone who either was not about peace and hope and putting people together, broken relationship, or even meeting up with an ex or something like that. This person's like, yeah, I'm tired of waiting. That's what I just heard. I'm done waiting on this. I'm done waiting for whatever. I'm counting my losses as a loss. There you go. Right? My new dream here is this 10 of Pentacles. What's gone is gone. The time limit is over. And Aries is sort of saying, I need to Look at that. Work on the, this would be like long term. I need to make choices for long term legacy in the future. And the work that is put into, it's not just about family. Someone is seeing it as love. They're seeing it as loving. I do things out of love. That's what Aries is saying. And it costs me, you know, there are responsibilities I need to take care of. Yes. And my doing out of love here, I give joyfully, but it is costing me. And I won't be able to take care of things in a large sort of way if a negative sort of message shows up. So Aries is sort of looking at this and saying, we have birthdays coming up, we have graduation things coming up, and they're putting they're putting a boundary or a limit on something because time has expired. To me, this is like self-discipline. Someone who's needing to put self-discipline on themselves. They don't like telling themselves no. But what is required is required. You know what I mean? They don't like telling themselves no. Look, with the high priestess in the reverse. I've been listening to the wrong Joker in my head this entire time, and I'm not able to figure out why. Well, it's almost like Aries is looking at a past relationship with someone else, seeing how much work it was, and maybe looking at someone like a Gemini or someone who wouldn't do the full bid, waiting for this ending that took a really long time, but the ending is here and the ending is now. If you guys need a time frame for when your stuff, Aries, is going to get back on track, it shows in about 2 weeks. In about 2 weeks, you're going to feel a little better about things. So don't make any random weird actions at the moment, even though you may feel like it. Don't be doing that. Nah. And don't let fear wreck a good thing either. You know, don't do that either. All right. Who's next? Taurus. All right. Taurus. Sun, moon, rising, Venus. Taurus, sun, moon, rising, Venus for March 2026. I just heard wait to be praised. Don't open your mouth. Allow the glorious wonderment to come to you. But it has to do with praise. It seems there might be someone who's been waiting in the wings for a thank you, Taurus. Or you were pausing, waiting. Because what I'm seeing is Taurus sort of working with a group of people and doing most of the job, I guess. Your portion of something not being, I'm hearing gratuitous, gratitude, gratuitous. Oh, this has to do with favors. Okay. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. And Taurus extended their they extended their own, Tauruses can't stand that. They extended themselves out of whatever, but they were on a checkpoint in their mind of, aren't you going to thank me? Aren't you going to, like, I let you off the ticket. Aren't you going to say thank you? Aren't you going to come back with, when I have a favor, so I have a favor I did for you. Why aren't you doing for me? It's that keeping track and keeping tally of gifts given and gifts, it's not seeing the whole picture. You know, Taurus is in this weird, stupid relationship with Sagittarius, where if you have someone who's not able to understand the purpose and meaning for things on a large scale, for why we come together and why we do things, you're going to have challenges with a rogue, independent, rebellious kind of, libertine. I'm a libertine. It's sort of like, dude, what you did was part of the goal and the purpose and the meaning for why we're together. So why am I have an ex-husband who used to say, why should I pat you on the back for not robbing the bank? What Taurus is stepping into that sort of, there's anger in someone's heart and in their throat. It's dark. I don't like this feeling, because I personally, my spirit wants to puke it up. I want to vomit it. I want to get that feeling out of my system. Whoever this person is holding on to it, like they're protecting it. They've made a little home for their hate in their heart. They're decorating in there, putting up little twinkly lights. The hate that they have. Certain people, certain places. It's a lot like an ex who used to listen or watch certain movies, and when they come on now, I don't eat pancakes anymore because my ex loved pancakes. It's an immature kind of love. It's the dark side of love. And what can happen when someone isn't trained correctly in love? They reach outside of themselves and they feel like the world just constantly tells them no. And in the truth of it, the person's immaturity at interacting with the world is catching up to them. There's a response that is necessary for wise actions, not reactive, emotional spurts of immaturity. The demanding nature of Taurus. And I don't know if this person is like older male in their 50s or their 60s, the kind of person who doesn't feel like the world has treated them right. And I'm going to go bury a bunch of guns in the backyard. Look at this. I have the Two of Cups in the reverse. And there's a question there that would sort of say, you are who you hang out with, number one. Number two, if you're going to hang out with good people and not allow them to influence your life in a positive way, why are you wasting your time here? Leave. Leave. If you're not able to be joyous and happy for others, you're only considering yourself here. You're not able to separate your own emotions out. And look what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that someone here is watching that. They're on the outside and they're watching this go down. Someone showing their ass. Like, because yeah, whoever I'm picking up here, this is someone who cannot be happy for others when others have happiness. No, they'd rather harbor hate in their heart. And it is like one of those things where, when I was growing up, I wanted macaroni and cheese. And my mom said no. And you know what? I'll remember that till my last day. Be like, bro, dude. So whatever this is, it's personal, but it is something that maybe Taurus is doing to the world. To the world. Look at this. I have the Seven of Swords in the reverse and the Magician in the reverse. There is something that is missing. I'm hearing also it might have to do with an identity or a person personified. I'm hearing somebody having an incorrect personified disbelief in their mind about who they are in the world. Commanding, demanding, someone maybe even sort of saying, you think you're above the law, you know, who do you think you are? You think you're above the law. You think you're above the law. Unholy union. It's that Taurus card in the reverse. You know what I mean? Nobody likes hanging out with that guy. No thanks. Oh, Beth. Nobody likes hanging out with that. Look at the Taurus is in the reverse. But there's someone Taurus on the outside, might be a Pisces or a Gemini. You know, they're on the outside here. You can wish all you want for a fresh start and a new beginning. But if your value system is not lined up with what it is that you wish for, that's as far as you're going to go. If you're not willing to do the discipline and put in the time to self-correct and modify when you need to, take a knee and understand that sometimes, most times, you're the student. You know, very rarely do you get to hold the wheel. There's been enough damage with this Taurus person now that they're feeling it. You know what I mean? Nobody hanging out, nobody, you know, relationships are not doing well right now. They don't understand yet that they're the ones that made a choice to be in their own head. Even the stuff that this person said that came out of their mouth, I don't think they were listening to themselves. You know what I mean? I don't think they were listening to themselves. That's what I have for Taurus right now. Just know there's someone on the outside that's watching and they're clocking. They're clocking it. Yeah. There needs to be a certain maturity that comes with responsibility, and relationships require responsibility. Groups, working groups, you know, but also, yeah, this strange, you know, it's a personified identity this person has in their head in relation to the world. Bitch, you wrong. Sit down. I'm sorry, that was long. I know, Heather. I know. All right, little quicker clip, and all my Geminis are like, no. Gemini energy, please, for where we at? March 2026. Show me Gemini energy. Can you guys give me a second, please? I don't know how to pause this thing. Yes, I do. I need to use the little person's room, little girl's room. So hang on, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. You let me know if that fan gets too loud. Okay, Gemini. What's this say? Warning. You guys with me? Oh, good. There's Heather. Okay, Gemini. Hello, my Gemini friends. I'm going to do a quick spread for you guys for the week. Dry my hands a little more. I'm telling you, everybody, all the signs are having weird energies right now. Don't forget that Heather and I are going live tomorrow. And the first Terra class is up. You can purchase it for yourself on the Patreon channel for $20. That is much less than getting a Terra tutor. I promise you. Because I used to give Terra mentorship at like $60 an hour. So you're getting kind of a deal, you know, $20 and you get to keep the video. Otherwise, you'd have to be a gatekeeper on YouTube membership or the $18 level at the Patreon channel monthly, and you can get the Terra classes for free. Well, not really free. It's $18 a month. That's even better. All right. I'm going to shut up now. Gemini. Where are my Gemini people? Gemini. There. That's my life. If you have anything from the 20, and I mean, Uranus is at the 27th degree of Taurus, to the 18th degree of Gemini, you have any planetary placements from the 27th degree of Taurus to the 18th degree of Gemini, there is a huge square to the nose, and Lilith is involved. So show me Gemini energy, please, for March 2026. What's going on with Gemini energy, please? The sun is also part of that square, so something may be revealed. Show me Gemini energy. I know that's it's not random, it's generic for me to say something would be revealed. It's generic, but I'll add to it that it might be quality, and you might have needed it for a while, or maybe you need quality right now. So show me Gemini energy, please. There's a misstep. Look at this. Gemini. Uh-oh. I'm hearing, uh-oh. There's a misstep. I misunderstood. I missed the mark. I tumbled down a hill. I'm seeing Princess Bride. They're rolling down the hill together. As you wish. Making a slip up. Not thinking outside of a box. Not having a box. Well, not Schrodinger's cat. It really doesn't matter. In or outside of the box, life keeps going. But I see the agitation here of having very few resources, or I'm hearing time, having less time than you had before, less resources than you had before, and making it work anyway, the way that you want to make it work. I'm also seeing a tinkering energy, needing to tinker with something, because what I'm seeing is like Geppetto, Pinocchio, but not Geppetto. What movie is that? I can't remember the movie, but I'm seeing the garage, and it has all the jars of screws and the tools and the workbenches, and the garage door is open, and somebody in there having to tinker with something, not necessarily knowing what it is that they're doing. However, they're making it work. And as long as it's running and working, it should be okay, but not in the long run, Gemini. And you know this. You know that it wouldn't it wouldn't have been able to continue the way that it was. Sometimes you have to ask for help. And sometimes reaching for help is a hard thing to do, but sometimes help doesn't arrive in time. There is it's a lot like how a raindrop is formed. You have a particle that's floating in the air. Water or condensation will catch onto that particle and build over time. It's very similar to like a snowball or a snowstorm. And something is now at storm level proportions. Got the dude with the goggles, and the big balloon, and water world, the guy in the balloon above their head, water world. If you can't see behind you, you cannot look to the future to know which direction you need to pull. But you got to look behind you to be able to do that. Mercury is in retrograde right now, but I am picking that up. Hi, Badir. Radicals. High five. High five, radical. No. Gemini. It's a good thing Virgos love you sometimes. All right, Gemini. What the F are you thinking? Okay, this is what I'm catching, Gemini. You have this huge life commitment or this huge life thing. It's going to change your life. Okay. And you've chosen it, or you want to choose it. You have a map on the table. A Virgo very well could be involved. However, it is very difficult to draw out a strategic plan for the future, and even worse than that, to draw out the way you're going to go with something when you have not looked at the past. Maps that are current were built in a Taurus fashion, Gemini, where you had the foundation and then we build upon that foundation one step at a time. There is no launching in a rocket until you're closer to the highest point of the atmosphere with your product or your tool, or I'm hearing with your ability. How far were you planning to go? Dreams are dreams. Wonderful. Data is data. And I'm hearing with the data that is presented, Gemini, there is only one road presented right now. You must pull from other books, other places, other life experiences, but mainly from the past to be able to see where the road will fork. It's like someone assuming that the yellow brick road is the happiest way to go when you could actually fly if you just learned how to fly. And there are some that were not committed to the presentation that was given for the plan. And instead of, I'm hearing the word redacting an idea, somebody just went forward with it anyway. Wasn't the best idea. And it's almost like getting so far down the road and somebody going, well, dude, I could have told you that. Didn't ask me for my opinion, though. It has to do with opinions. Opinions and ideas from life experiences from everyone else around the table. Foundations that were set for their road, their life, their whatever. Seeking wisdom in a multitude of counselors. But there is something from the past not everyone can identify with. It's creating an awkward situation at present, Gemini. The wisest of you is just saying, F it. You know what I mean? F it. People are going to think what they're going to think. They're going to do what they're going to do. But it feels more like Gemini at some point is just kind of going, you know what? I don't care. I don't care what people are going to say. I don't care what people are going to do. I'm at the end of my rope. I'm at the end of my options. Right now, I'll just take anything that works. But it's almost like an admiral with the map and a ship, and they're just in the lulls. Which direction do we go? I don't know. There's no wind. What do we do now? I don't know. There's help coming. Ooh, glory be. I just entered like a African American church, like Georgia on Sunday. Praise, 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 praise the Lord. Ah, it's cultural. That's, I'm going to cry. What was done to one of us was done to all of us, because I'm seeing the suffering. What was done to one of us is done to all of us. It carries it's a historical thing of perhaps slavery, and it carries with it, it would be a lot like saying, have you ever been a slave? Well, no. Well, it's in my DNA and I carry the sorrow for it. There's a grieving process that needs to take place at present, and you're missing that part, Gemini. Grieving the loss of a lifestyle, grieving the loss of a job, grieving the loss of an idea. You need to give that a little more time to seep into your bones, because it becomes the structure that happens for the future. And depending on whether your grief turns to joy for what was lost, a great love, a great life, a sex life. Commit to the grief of the thing. It's in your bones. And I'm being told, Gemini, that for some of you, it's like pointing me to that connection you have to the 10th house. The family lineage where others have grieved. It's now in your bones. It's in your bones. Got to return to the root. Got to return to the root. This person that's coming, I don't know. I'm seeing like a redhead. They're patient. They're kind. They're older than you. I would say they're a mixture between a Leo and an Aries. And they've got fire in their life and passion. To me, they come off as a divine feminine presence. They're quiet. They're emotionally controlled and stable. They're going to ask you for help. But in some way, Gemini, I don't want to say they're better than you. They're more developed than you. They may be coming in and asking for help, but it would be like your professor or your pastor or your boss or the principal of a school, and they're coming in and looking at you and just going, I need help. They're testing you. They're watching you. They're joyful when you win. They're supportive when you slip. But the majority of the time, they're on standby and they're smiling. They're coming soon in the next 3 weeks. For some of you, they may be coming from a place of Aquarius, whether it's a nonprofit or maybe they're humanitarian in their ideas. Maybe they know how to play captain of the team. I'm seeing a softball team. There's a group of dogs that will be important. This person may have a group of dogs. There's an understanding of loyalty and tested time. They're coming. You won't be alone for much longer. You have about 2 more weeks, 2.5. Then the redhead's coming and they're going to be like, I need help. They'll be watching you. But in a lot of ways, you'll feel tested, challenged, and they're looking for what you're going to do. It feels like having a guide with you, but one that's always watching you. Do you know what I mean? Cool. I know I'm channeling. Whatever. Cancer. What am I supposed to do? You start channeling, you have a message, you're supposed to give it. Ethically, what am I supposed to do? It happens every time. You get called to be a messenger. You know you're supposed to hand off messages. All right. Cancer. Cancer's dealing with a Leo. Mother of a things. God bless. Cancer and a Leo. Show me Cancer energy, please, for March 2026. Oh, an answer has come in, Cancer. There's hope. There's a sacrifice of some kind. Oh, okay. Someone is unwilling to make a sacrifice of some kind. They see value in keeping whatever it is that they have. Oh. It's like, what do you do when you marry someone who doesn't like to go fishing and then they're looking at all your shit and they're like, just get rid of all of this shit. You know what I mean? And the fisher person is looking at them going, no, what? They're my fishing stuff. The other person's like, yeah, but who cares? Yeah, but who cares? What? Just because you don't like to go fishing doesn't mean it doesn't hold value to me. So there's this imbalance of perhaps it's how to deal with an issue. I mean, what's the quickest way to put it? Because I have a Gemini or somebody up here that's throwing in their 2 cents and they're like, yeah, it's not worth much, you know. I think the Gemini cares more than the Leo or the Cancer, one or the other. I think the Gemini cares a lot more. There's something about joined history between the Gemini and the Cancer where the Gemini is saying, I know how much. It's sort of like the Gemini saying, I love to see you happy. Your happiness makes me happy. And I know how hard it would be for you because I've been with you longer to know what kind of a sacrifice it would mean, you know, to release some things. No, I'm hearing the Gemini was part of the memories. There are memories that are attached to this thing here. To be able to move forward, there is a release. Ooh, damn. Bullish behavior, stock market type of bullish behavior where something is taken a dive in a certain way. I'm seeing an escape in the middle of the night. Someone who may need to leave in the middle of the night. Maybe they're flying out in the middle of the night. Maybe they were on a flight and they missed something here. Hold on, Cancer. This person's like, what? You run your mouth too much. There's someone getting offended. There's an offense of some kind here. Oh, shit. Okay. All right. A logical person, a fire sign. You need to anticipate a logical fire sign is coming in. They're going to lay something down. And the way that they say it makes so much freaking sense, Cancer. You hate it when they're right, or you hate it. It's almost like you hate what's being shown to you. That could be coming from anywhere. But you may feel like there's nothing you can do. And a fire sign's about to come in and explain some things. They make so much sense. Why do cancers do this? It's a very innocent thing where they don't check all around something. It would be a lot like saying, I only see one thing, and that's over there. It's their connection to Sagittarius, that first inconjunct. I can only see one way, one thing, focal point on something else. And this fire sign sort of comes in and says, blah. Well, why don't you do it like this? And it makes so much stupid sense that it's stupid. You're going to be like, I didn't think of that. I was only looking at my portion or what I brought or my choice or whatever. Yeah. Like my action was the only, so that's what you're getting this week. And it's that short because apparently I'm not allowed to channel anymore. Okay. Crikey, Mikey. I'm sorry, did you? 3 cards just fell on Iris. Okay. They were the Hierophant, the 4 of Swords in the reverse, and then, waiting for an ending that never seems to come because mommy's always working and she wants to go throw the ball. I know Iris very well. Okay, let's go to Leo. Leo's dealing with 5 or 6 people this week. God bless them. Okay, look, Leos love children. They love children. I could meet a Cancer all day long, and they might have 2 or 3 children. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Leo's got like 12. Okay. Leos love big families, love big friend groups. I have 5 or 6 people that Leo will be dealing with this week. And Leo is dealing with a bunch of cranks. These people are cranky, or Leo has triggered them to be cranky. Leo is not going to like the way that people mute their expressions. It's going to be a difficult thing when people are having private, secret conversations around you, about you. They're going to be talking and so on and so forth, but their expressions are mute. And Leo's going to get, why aren't you this? And why aren't you that? Very monotone type syllable. No. Yes. It's a group of quiet offenders or offended, one or the other. Leo doesn't like putting up with that. Leo wants things to feel normal, even through abnormal times. Leo's got to make a crew fit the design, some sort of mission or achievement. But up to this point, Leo has been the crank. No, the tables are turning in a way where Leo has led the charge into a mud pit, and nobody wants to play with the mud. It's a reversal. Do you understand what I'm saying? It would be like captain of the team, bullish, and then captain of the team, and nobody's playing the game anymore. Everybody sees the game's up, the gig's up, the game's up. And now there's like the awareness, I guess. Some of you may be dealing with bullies or maybe watching a bunch of bullies, you know, the gig is up. And from what I can tell, Leo is going to be working with a group of people that they need to build into a crew. And nobody wants to lend you their ability because the trust has been mishandled. I will also say for some of you Leos, this is not going to be you personally. You're going to be observing it. I see landlords and tenants. I don't know why I want to say newspapers, editors, and publishers. Oh, there may be a social media strike. No shite. Good for us. There's some sort of that strike, whatever. And like I said, if you've been in a leadership position, you've been really shitty at, me first, that's about to flip. If you are more gracious and gracious, but also graceful, then you ain't got to worry about it. You'll be watching from the sidelines like, oh, damn. And that's what Leo's got this week. Okay. All right. Let's move to Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for March 2026. Virgo, what? Virgo thinks it's a trick. Is this a trick? Virgo's like, why are you being so nice to me? Virgo thinks life and just life in general. Why are these people sending me money? Why? They think it's a trick. Virgo's been on their own for so long. I'm hearing having to build an entire house nail by nail by themselves, when promised and promised. So, and it's been so long that Virgo's just like, I quit expecting anyone to show up 12 years ago. Okay. So you're sending me a basket of flowers. Like, who are you? And you see the sextile from Virgo to Scorpio kind of kick on. Like, they're disbelieving the Mayfair type energy. If people want to sing and they want to dance and they want to put flowers in their hair and they're trying to grab Virgo to come along with them, Virgo is like, who are you people? Like, who are you people? Why are you, what? Get off my lawn. You know what I mean? Like, get off my lawn. Don't touch my car. Who are you people? March is actually a really great month for Virgo. But Virgo, they've been on their own doing it for so long. It will come as shock and surprise, Virgo, but what I'm hearing is it will be repetitive. Shock and surprise, shock and surprise, shock and surprise, shock and surprise. It's because you've been in a hole that is so damn deep and you built a life down there. And somebody cracked the gate open on your little prison down there and you're seeing the light and you're like, shut that damn door. You know what I mean? Shut that damn door. You're letting in light. You're gonna wake up my little groundhogs and all sorts of shit. You built a life around the whole. So there is a lot of disbelief. It's like win after win after win. I'm saying it comes in cycles of like 5 days cycle, 5 days cycle, 5 days cycle, all through the month of March and into a greater portion of April. And a whole bunch of Virgos, man, they're going to be like grumpy old men, you know? Who said you could put snowflakes on my boards? You know, they're not used to the sunshine coming out. They don't believe that it's real. Why you want to give me what? They're big things too, Virgo. Things that got left behind when Neptune entered into Pisces. Things that were dropped. It's sort of like saying things the fog covered up and you had to sit on the ground. People couldn't see. Bitch, we seeing it all now. I'm not going to say that. I'm sorry. Not saying it. Congratulations, Virgo. Moving along. Libra. God. Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I'm hearing a lot of Libra energy, March 2026. A lot of Libra energy to bear the brunt. All right, look, I love you guys. You know this. The Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, because what I have in my spirit is suffering. There is a connection between you and Pisces. It's not the only connection that could ever be there, but it is a difficult one. I don't want to compare myself, but I will represent myself when I say this as a Libra moon person. To carry suffering well. Suffering is absolutely a part of our life experience here. And I think when I was a child, I would tell, people would be like, I hate getting old. I hate getting old. And I'd always tell them, I can't wait to get old. I can't wait to get old. My hope is to age gracefully. People couldn't understand that. But trust me, God did, and gave me every opportunity to suffer. But it's how you hold the weight of a thing. It doesn't just include somebody's ability to do. It also includes the attachments. Every day cannot be a sunny day, and because of Libra's connection to Pisces, there are more suffering days than not. And the relationships that are formed between you and other people have quality attached to them in varying degrees. And what I'm catching from Libra right now is the misappropriated, they're saying funds. I will also take that as misappropriated time that was invested in people or connections where you either were awful at connections and networking and all of that stuff, or you were polite and gracious and bent over for folks and bowed the knee and whatever you did. Time has been lost. Time has been wasted on behalf of these connections, or you did it to others. There is a returning of the tides, Libra. The cycles of the earth continue in a recycling fashion. Connections and networks that flex and flow like the branches of a tree can handle the wind as it blows. There are, I'm hearing 3, maybe 4 connections that are coming in the near future that can flex. Expect fire signs, but they're race car drivers. They like going fast. They like putting on stripes. Because I'm seeing, American Indians on horses, but I'm also seeing race car stripes. I'm seeing gymnasts. They're bouncing all over the place. They may be, it's sort of like saying they're not your speed. but everyone loves an audience. So let them do, you don't have to join. Sometimes you can just watch and clap. There is going to come in the next 6 months, Libra, the understanding of how powerful networking is, the power of the network. Boop, 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 whatever. Morse code, do, 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 do. Needing the connection on the other side to not just understand what it is that you're saying, but your intention to not leave you on the other line with like a dial tone of any kind. Favor the few who will show up for you. Rare as it is, expect 3 or 4 over the course of the next 8 months, which you're meeting your first one soon. They may be, it would be like a pit crew. Pit crew 1. All right, moving to Scorpio, because I love Scorpios. Dark times, Scorpio, dark times. Dark times for all of us. When evil approaches, Scorpio goes like the werewolf. Because it's like, Scorpio, just give me a reason. Just give me, it's like Catwoman, I just wanted a reason. Anger is one thing, Scorpio. Power is something else. Power done in anger. Really? Really? That's dangerous. It's not just to, even dangerous to the individual who's doing it. That's too much danger, man. It's dumb danger, It's like talking to a Sagittarius that wants to fly off a cliff. I can fly. And Scorpio's like, shut up and sit down. Like, I don't even want to talk to you right now. God, you're so dumb. Dumb. But the yappiest mouth gets fed first. That's just kind of how it works. I'm watching this idiot. Oh my God, Scorpio could do anything else with their life right now than watch this idiot. You know what I mean? Like, who is this person you're dealing with? Like, just hang up the phone. We got other things to do. Don't even pick up the phone. That's how Scorpio is going to be this next 2 or 3 weeks. There's somebody that's wanting to come in and yap. For some of you, I see a Scorpio. I do see a Leo. There is a Taurus. It could be a Gemini and a Libra. Man, this just shut them up. Shut them up. It would be like saying, no, this person to Scorpio is an idiot. They're an idiot. The question of Scorpio is like, why is this person breathing? Did anybody double check? Who gave this who opened the door to let this person come sit in on this meeting? Why are they here? And who gave them any kind of power to start talking? Not only are they, not on the board, not only are they not, in whatever authority position, they don't even have access to the building. Who gave them the damn code? Scorpio wants numbers and names, like right now, who let this idiot in here? So it feels like a run on a bank. You know what I mean? Scorpio, like someone coming into your territory. If you manage something, oversee something, just expect some idiot. Yeah, that's sort of what Scorpio is dealing with this week, like an idiot. Like, you're going to let these people, in some cases, it's like medical, I can see some of the medical staffing in a hospital, like a whole bunch of Scorpios go on. and just, I'm checking out and going home. Y'all call me when everything's back on, or something like that. You know what I mean? Who let dum dum in? It's a whole bunch of dum dums. Scorpio's got a best friend who's a Scorpio. It feels like a best friend. Like Scorpio found another Scorpio and they made best friendsies. Man, y'all talk some shit. Y'all talk some, just be careful, Scorpio. You know how people love to use information against you. Be very, very careful. Keep those messages between you and your little bestie Scorpio friends. Just that you're smarter than this. You're smarter. Not everyone is your friend. Okay. Sometimes they are. It's weird, right? Scorpio sometimes can feel free. And then there are days that Scorpio won't feel free. But I'm just saying communication is a thing. For the next 2 or 3 weeks, watch your tone. It's sort of like being misinterpreted or mistrusted or miscommunicationed for all the wrong reasons, based off of how you look, how you act, how you smile, who you smile at, who you wink at, and what that wink means. It's too much. It's too much. Now is the time to put up the guard, Scorpio. Now I'm seeing a beetle. Get that shell around you. Look like you're dumb. I don't know. I don't know. Where'd they go? I don't know. What are they eating today? I don't know. How much they spend? I don't know. It's a good time for that the next 2 or 3 weeks, because there's going to be some dum-dums. 1 dum-dum, 2 dum-dum, 3 dum-dums. Just watch how you handle it. Because if you and your bestie like get on a table and start doing the Shangri-La, could cost you. Okay. Put up the armor. Every Scorpio is like, oh my God. That's what I'm saying. Scorpio might feel feisty, but don't be feisty. Be feisty at home. Please. Please. Okay, moving to Sagittarius. Hi, Jamie. All right. I saw Jamie and my world just went round and round like we're at a dance. Let's see. Sagittarius. Sun, moon, rising. Oh, Sag needs love. Sag, do you need some love? Some of you are like, oh, you feel like you're missing out? Because to me, it would be like, I want to get laid and I can't. You know, like when you're on your period or whatever. Everybody's at the ball, except Sag. Some of you have things to occupy you, but they're not as fun as like sex, skydiving, launching things into the air like water balloons. Sag is feeling a bit lonely. Don't watch too many murder shows, please. Just calm down, Pepe. Just calm down. It feels like a lull. It feels like a lull, and things are not as exciting as you want them to be, Sag. However, there are still things you can do and manage. Sorry, I'm sifting very fast through like Akashic records, like really, really fast. Some of you have lost interest in doing some things, and no, you're not depressed. It is a change. There's going to be a picking up of the pace. Oh, damn. All right. I feel like I want to stretch my hands and go like this and crack my knuckles and be like, I'll be your huckleberry. But it's like a 10K run. And you've run those before. You've run 25K. Bring it on. I'll be your huckleberry. But it has something to do, Sagittarius, with discipline. And it has something to do with understanding the time, the length, the strength, and you're stretching your limbs right now. It's almost like someone is saying, just send Sag in. It's not an overly done sort of presence. It's not tremendously egoic in any way, not even at all. This would be like a Sag who grew up running 100 miles a year. Sag knows what it means to run 100 miles a year. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing Sag can't do, but Sag is also not arrogant about it. There have been, it's like spitballs from the cheap seats coming at you. And Sag isn't even phased by it. They're like picking the spitballs off and just being like, dumb, stupid, like, whatever. You know, it's that sort of energy because Sag has done the fun run before. Take the time now to rest and decompress and just let your whole system kind of come down, because as it begins to peak up, especially towards August, your stride is going to stretch. It's going to stretch. And you know the drill. You know the drill. You're not intimidated by this. You're not even scared. You're like, yeah, okay, bring it on. Yay, bring it on. I think it's that Sag wants something more exciting in their life. If they have to do the fun run of 100 miles a year, again, Sag wants some passion. Can I please have some passion and fun? There has been a lot of and very angsty for a very long time. And I feel just everything sucked out of my heart chakra. I don't have another heart to give because it's dry as a bone, you know? Can we find something? And then therein lies the next thing, right, Sag? Is maybe you feel like you've tried everything that you wanted to try and you don't know what next to try. You know? Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, I've done that. Been in the water, been on the land, been in the air, I've been in the fire. There's nothing, it feels like that long-term experience, and now you're just kind of deflated. There will be a change coming. Oh shit, but not till the next eclipse. Oh, are we having an eclipse on March 3rd? But it's not that one. It feels like the one in August. Where, oh, I just heard someone go, shh, it's a surprise. I just heard that, like a gift. Shh, it's a surprise. It's going to be a pop out of the box, like a Jack in the Box sort of thing, with $1 million thrown everywhere. It's a gift. It's a surprise. And it feels like it's coming from like New Zealand or Australia or somewhere down from the south. It's something that is very unexpected, because to me, it feels like America getting an entire, aircraft carrier from Australia, and America has no clue they're getting an aircraft carrier. It's big, it's large, it's lovely, it's lush. For some of you, it's an entirely new wardrobe. For some of you, it's an entirely new space, sort of like somebody giving you this long ballerina practice area and saying, here, Sag, it's yours, do whatever you want with it. And Sag going like, well, I could, Machiavellian, I could do something with this. But it's not coming until August. Until then, unfortunately, it's the fun run. I love you guys. Moving along to Capricorn. Oh God. Capricorns. You are the loves of my life, my Capricorns. You light up my life. I'm not going to sing for any other sign, Capricorn. I will romance you until the day I am done. I love you. I love you, Capricorn. Even when you're naughty. even when you're naughty. I will love Capricorn. Terrible. Capricorn. Achievement is on the table, Capricorn. Ooh. It's like Capricorn wiping sweat off their brow and flicking it and going, I just finished my fun run, and looking at Sag and being like, it's your turn, get on. Capricorn is done with the fun runs. Ain't doing no more beer runs for anybody else, you know? I ain't doing all whatever. I'm making my little corner of the world stable and strong and situated. And I'm going to sit down and I'm going to drink a beer. How about that? Capricorn is done. I think Capricorn's just done giving an F. If people are committed to squabbling and fighting, I don't think you're affected anymore. You're just like, done, done, done. I think you're also in your mind. I can feel it, that you're isolating yourself in your mind. You're just closed off to anything else, or, you know, any influence, any noise, any none of that at all. Capricorn, you're just committed to the silence. Too many people reaching for you at inopportune times, and it's been overdone. I'm seeing a restaurant. I'm seeing a restaurant where someone put in a tremendous amount of money and time and effort and love and, you know, hiring people and doing whatever. And you're just going to close the doors. You're just going to close the doors to the restaurant. Everybody go home. I'm seeing somebody do that. Just everybody go home. Go home. What? No. You don't work here anymore. I'm closing these doors for good. You know, I can't find good help anywhere. Nobody's willing to show up. So get out. I'll just close the doors. It is like the Taj Mahal, because I'm seeing the Taj Mahal, but I'm also seeing the Red Square in Moscow, and just closing off the entrance gates to museums. I'm hearing trust fund babies getting closed off. Anybody that called you baby, but baby, no, we're done. I am seeing a Capricorn who has tried and tried and tried. There's a family member who has needed help. This person has been on their own and been alone. It feels like a Virgo stuck in the hole. Leave me alone. You're letting in the light. Capricorn is, I mean, you should see the face on some of these people. Capricorn, you already know. I don't have to tell you. Capricorn is not surprised by evil anymore. Capricorn has seen every face of evil at every gauge of volume, up and down. And you know what? Capricorn's numb. They're numb to the experience. I do see a beach. I see time on a beach. For some of you in the spring, if you have an opportunity to go down to a shoreline, might be a good time, whether it's fishing or a pond, to be quiet by a lake. It is a time of being on the shoreline and looking at your next experience, and one that you would prefer to do alone. There are no good hands. Nobody cares enough. It's that sort of nihilistic, burn the world, I don't give a fuck, you know. It's that sort of thing. I think I'm hearing the words hope reborn. Capricorn has built hope for everyone, except no one has no one that Capricorn has been exposed to, especially recently, has been able to bring the hope reborn for Capricorn. Oh, hello. And this is why we have babies. Oh, Capricorn's about to be surrounded by a bunch of babies. And it may not be yours. It may be kittens, your neighbor's kittens, your neighbor's puppies. There are puppies, there are kittens, there are babies. There are strolls and walks through the woods, but there are birds. Nature is going to come for you, bitches. And you need that time. The structure and the concrete and the calling of the career, it's going to be fine. Okay. Your spirit is plunged. And it's different than Virgo's. Virgo's been in a prison. Capricorn has been a toilet plunger, going under the water into the shit, getting sucked up and whatever. You're about to find hope reborn in places that have babies everywhere. Baby otters, baby elephants. Nature is coming for you. And it's not going to be people. Don't look to people. People have failed you. Let the babies do it, because this is hope reborn. This is life refreshed. Man, y'all got the next. Somebody's going to have another baby. As soon as you put that baby in your arms, Capricorn, all the love you have will only be for that baby. Everybody else can get the F out of this room. This baby is the only thing I trust. Everybody else get out of here. There is a baby coming. Kittens, puppies, babies, little baby gnomes. Oh my God. Life is about to show you over the next 8 months a refreshed renewal that has nothing to do with people. It has everything to do with new life. Baby butterflies, baby snakes that are not dangerous. It's time for the ground to break and spring to come, but you've never been in charge of that part. You've only been in charge of clearing the ground. Now you get to see the fruits of your work, but it's not people. Watch, the ground will yield up and give back to you. It is time. I love you. Send me pictures. There are babies everywhere. That's all I see is the young creatures, the young, and watermelons. Summertime, July. Beautiful. Go buy a new outfit. I love you. And get your hair done. Okay. Aquarius. Are we taking too long? Am I taking up your time? My apologies. Aquarius. Rude. Aquarius. That's a motorcycle. Aquarius. Vroom, vroom. I just heard that again, too. Aquarius. Bikers. Tattoos, bikers, the Burning Man festival. Aquarius. Aquarius about to put on a suit. May hide those tattoos, but it didn't take anything from your integrity. In fact, you feel more integritous than ever before, Aquarius. You're getting, Jesus need to come into this room. You are sick of people dragging your name through the shit. You are sick of people dragging your name through the shit. If you got to perform, you got to outperform. Oh, I've been waiting for this moment. That's what Aquarius is saying. Not everyone has had their eyes on you. Not everyone has had their eyes on you. They have been under an assumption that you cannot or will not or don't know how or whatever. They've made up a bunch of stories. None of it. In fact, The more stories that you hear about yourself, the more dumb, like you have assumed these people either have watched too many movies, hang out with crazies. Aquarius about to put a suit on. I am seeing in some form or fashion that our next leader coming in as leaders are falling, the next ones coming up will carry a lot of Aquarius energy. People are putting on suits. There is a calling for you guys to take the mic and to stand on the stage and just wipe them out with your words. You know what I mean? To sit down with that procedural book and be like, oh, I'll be your, you really, you don't like me? Great. Go on vacation. Bye. Go on. Let them go on vacation. Let them give you the scepter. Nobody believes that you can do it. Nobody, you know what I mean? Too many people running their mouths. You don't fight back. You don't have to fight back. Look at that. You never asked to lead the group. You didn't want to lead. You didn't want to lead. You didn't want to lead. You didn't want to have to lead. You know what I'm saying? See the silence and the rest. I understand that. Well, this shit's been going on. Cool. Look, you see how dumb and dysfunctional this whole thing's been. And you've been watching the shit show go down. Awesome. People have asked you questions. Man, this whole thing's effed up. Yeah, to me, it looks like you've stayed true to the people closest to you. You've attended to yourself. And unfortunately, now you're going to get pushed onto a stage of some sort where the group following or the group people, you didn't want it. You didn't want the power. You didn't want the thing. You're like, thanks, I'll pass. You're about to get handed it in a way where you are angry or upset as you get into that chair. It's not a good look for everybody else. I'm telling you. I feel like other people are in more trouble if there is trouble, They don't know what they're asking for. That's how it feels to me. It feels like a drill sergeant who's being put as a head drill sergeant over all the other drill sergeants. They don't want what I have to bring. They've been screaming for it. They've been wanting it. They've been needing it. I haven't cared. Yeah, good luck to them. Nope, not anymore. Guess what? You're going to be mad when it happens too. You're going to be angry and upset. And it's going to be like, oh, okay. You wanted me here in this chair? You ain't going to like it at all. Like, why did you even ask? But Aquarius is being pushed into that position right now. There is a steering of the ship. They're showing me the axes there of the second house, eighth house, fifth house, 11th house. They're showing me the axis, but it's in a way that says that it needs to be steered. And right now, the power is being put in your hands because you have the wheel of the axes, of the entire axes. If you do not study astrology, you might want to start looking it up, man, because you're going to have control of the asset, the finances, the figures, the group, the program, the whatever. You're going to have all of these aspects, and you're going to be angry when you take it on because you didn't want this. But the fact that it's sort of like they brought me to this point. They brought me here. Their behavior brought me to this point. And that's what you have to look forward to. Yay. Get you one of those little stress balls. Something. And there's also something that has to do with thinking. It's power thinking. You know, I'm like seeing someone in an office with a suit and their sleeves are rolled up and they're hitting a little golf ball from here to there, you know. To other people walking in, it may look like, oh, they're just playing around. No, 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 no. I'm power thinking, bitch. Get the F out. Making space for that power thinking, the time that you need to power think, and to make sure that you're clocking the time on it. Okay. This isn't something you need to do at home. Rest when you're at home. Wherever you're doing this thing, make it stay there. Don't bring it home or into, you need rest to come back, because it's sort of like taking your brain and saying, I'm going to put 16 chessboards down, and I want you to play all 16 games at once. That's work. So count it as work. You see what I'm saying? Count it as work. When you move out of that thinking space, you need to rest your brain, meditate or get good sleep or whatever you need. Get your chocolate shake on. I don't know. But that's what you have coming up, especially in the month of March, March 13th, 14th through the 17th. I love you. Good luck. Okay. Right. Hi, Lorraine. Yeah, like I'm on Badir. I don't know if I'm feeling like an HOA kind of situation. It just hit me. I saw the name and I was like, is this like it feels like if it's not a community board, it might be HOA board, but it would have to do with living, housing, and people, and whatever that looks like. That's what I'm feeling there. Yeah. Pisces. Happy birthday, Pisces. It is your birthday season. I hope that you're having a good time with the sun. The sun right on top of the node, the north node. Pisces is the equivalent, of a ballerina holding a pugil stick. If you don't know what a pugil stick is, it would also be the equivalent of like a weapon. A ballerina holding a weapon, or a ballerina holding an alligator with teeth. This is my pet alligator. Pisces, March 2026 for Pisces. You're not going to let too many people get too close. F that. Whatever. In some ways, it has to do with your heart. Yeah. Okay. Pisces is the group that has the romance for this round. Might be dealing with a Leo. Might be dealing with a Leo. Okay. I'd rather channel this message. Even though I have aces that are showing up here. And it is about a message or news that's coming in. A brand fresh, it's like a fresh new beginning here. Yeah, it's going to move. But you got to move through a storm or something. You got to do something you don't want to have to do before you get to the other side of this thing. If you want to drop a load, you have to create a connection of some kind. Hold on, because I am picking up the romance of something you might be dealing with an Aquarius. Oh, you might fall in love with an Aquarius. That's so cute. Pisces. I'm feeling like Pisces is Alice, it's like Alice in Wonderland with the Cheshire cat, and Alice saying, I can rap and rhyme in rhythm right along with whatever that damn cat is doing. You want a show? I know how to dance the dance. It's Oh, it does have a little bit of aggression behind it, but it's not like harmful. It's not like Aquarius. Trust me. You know what I mean? It's not like Aquarius. It's more like Pisces wants to feel protected. And it's not for once. It's more like Pisces wants to feel protected while moving into a space of love. It's just Pisces hasn't gotten close enough to something to see if they feel that feeling, you know? They've been way back in the back rows up at the top. Nobody, I'm way up here. I ain't coming down there. Um, but you'll never know until you approach the stage. It's like a boxer's ring. Looks different when you're sitting on the front row than it does when you're up in the upper stands. Hearing the crack of a baseball, crack in a stadium of some kind, and feeling the jolt of being woken to something. And it is like a crack that wakes you up out of a dead sleep. There's going to be several of those over the next 4 years. It's a shock and a shock and a shock and a crack. But it is waking you to your environment, to your schools, to your schooling, elementary school training, things you were taught in your elementary years, the meaning of things and how the meaning was misconstrued, mistyped. People have assigned meaning from places of fear and then put it on you. And you're going to wake up to a lot of that, which isn't true because you've lived long enough to know it isn't true. It's a lot like finding out that George Washington was not at all the way it was portrayed to us in our elementary years. It's that kind of shock. The revelation of a lot of these things has you questioning humanity's best and humanity's worst. And then in walks a Leo. This person is going to take your breath away. They're going to take your breath away. I feel that a funeral is very important this year, Pisces. A funeral going to be very, very important. This person walks in and they are a breath of fresh air. It is like breathing fresh, clean air, drinking fresh, clean water. At first, it's refreshing. And then the very next breath, it's it's going to feel like love at first sight with this person. Could be an animal where you walk in and you see the otter's eyes and you're like, yep, you're coming home with me. You're mine. You couldn't, it's sort of like you could only hold your heart behind that wall for so long. And you didn't, well, some things you don't have control over, Pisces. That's sort of how I feel. It's not like you asked for it, it's more like it just showed up and your system is going to do what your system's going to do, whether that's a sexual attraction, because I'm seeing a tenderness just wash over you. It's going to be one person specifically. And to me, this person or this animal is so beautiful to you. You feel like there is no air unless this person or this animal is in the room. For some of you, it's a caretaker. If you are in hospital or if you're having dialysis of any kind, it very well could be a caretaker. Okay. For some of you, you may be like an older woman, and this is a younger man who is showing up, who will be your new lawn maintenance person. And this person is such I mean, wow. You know, it's the kind of help or service or whatever this person is giving you that they go not just above and beyond. You're in love with their work, their attitude, their outlook on life. There is this, you never believed that there was people like this in the world. You know what I mean? March. It's going to run from March 3rd, this wave. I'm hearing this first wave for Pisces is going to hit from March 3rd to August 2nd. The second wave is going to come on like September 30th through December 29th. But this year is made for love, life. It's like life lived through love. And how else I mean, look, I don't have the words. I don't have the words. Most of what you were told was a lie about your elementary upbringings. Most of it was a lie. Doesn't matter who said the lie, it was just a lie. You know what I mean? I just feel like the fantasy. I mean, there's one thing for Pisces to get lost in their head, right? It's a totally different thing for Pisces to have Tchaikovsky's freaking Swan Lake ballet right on their kitchen table. It's amazement with questioning, but it's not distrust. You know what I'm saying? Virgo's in a space of total distrust. Pisces is in a space of, I didn't know my heart was big enough to hold that as well, you know? For the females out there, if you are a grandmother or you become a grandmother, you may be asked to adopt the child of your child. You may be asked to raise the child of your child. And some of you may be a little irritated at first, not really thinking, I mean, knowing the long haul of such a thing, but not really fully. You just may say, yes, of course, but it's sort of like raising that male grandchild is going to change your entire life. That hope that you wish to see in the world resides in that child. And for you to be the one to guide it because it already exists, it's going to be that sort of love Pisces bond thing between you and this child. I am continually seeing a fish. So if you guys have an aquarium and you find a little fish, you might want to put it in there, because I guess you guys are supposed to get a pet fish. It's supposed to be a beautiful fish, like one that attacks. What is the one that's like small but has the huge flowing hair? But don't stick your finger in there because I'm the only one that fish loves. Yeah. If you are from the LGBTQ community and all right, if you're from the LGBTQ community, what I'm seeing is maybe a social worker, but I'm seeing a nun, like an actual nun. And I want to open the door to say that maybe this person behaves like a nun or lives like a nun. Not quite sure. But if you're part of the LGBTQ community, if this person is elderly than you and you are amazed at their scruples, be amazed. Allow them to share your life in some way. If you fall in love with a person whose personality is like a nun, you're from the LGBTQ community and you're sort of going, I didn't know, and you're gay and whatever else. And you're like, I never thought I'd like, that was never on my radar. Let's put it that way. Like, I never thought I'd fall in love with a person who was like a nun, but damn it, Jim. Anticipate it. If you are, even if you're conventional, Someone is more conventional than you, Pisces. I am just in awe and splendor, but also lost for words. A funeral. Funeral is going to be very important. A funeral. If there is an invitation for you to go to a funeral, you might want to go because something is supposed to happen here for you, Pisces. And I hate to put you on death's doorsteps, but I don't know. It's like the most beautiful widow or widower with a twinkle in their eye, and they're a breath of fresh air. But the love that extends, it feels to me like 25 years. It's like has this length of time attached to it. And it's sort of like, thank God your ruler left. I know that sounds crazy. All right, you guys, I've been talking for a very long time. I know Heather and I have to go live tomorrow. The first tarot class is posted on the Patreon channel. If you would like to purchase it, it's only $20. Unless you become a member at the $18 level on YouTube or Patreon, and then you'll get all my classes as I post them, no matter what. What am I missing? Heather and I go live tomorrow. Yeah, join the channel, and I'll see you guys soon. I love you guys. Heather loves you guys. And I will talk to y'all later.